In the end, despite all the boycott calls, India did play Pakistan at the Asia Cup. We won, hands down, and the Indian captain, in a moment pregnant with optics, refused to shake the Pakistani captain's hand after the toss. There was no handshake, there was no eye contact. Suryakumar Yadav said it was in solidarity with the 26 families who lost their loved ones in the Pahalgam attacks. He said this was his team's tribute to the armed forces that avenged Pahalgam via Operation Sindhur and Operation Mahadev. He said the government and the BCCI were aligned, but ultimately it is a call that was taken by Team India to dump convention. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Pakistani team should have seen it coming. The calls to boycott Pakistan in the Asia Cup have been so loud that even astronauts at the International Space Station would have heard it by now. But for some reason, Pakistan, the patron-in-chief of terrorists who plundered Pahalgam, thought it was going to be business as usual. So you kill Indian citizens, deny any role, play cricket with India as usual. Well, the usual didn't happen. Pakistan went crying to the ICC, saying India's actions were against the spirit of sportsmanship. Now the PCB, that is the Pakistan cricket body, wants the match referee to be removed because he asked the Pakistani captain Salman Agha not to shake hands with Suryakumar Yadav. In protest, he skipped the post-match interview as well. But all this drama hasn't impressed the opposition back home in India, that is calling this nothing but optics. They say the BCCI ignored public sentiment and played Pakistan for profit and will play them at least once again before the Asia Cup ends. The opposition in India says the whole handshake saga is actually just a fig leaf act of petty redemption by a government that should have actually cancelled the match but didn't. In fact, Priyanka Chaturvedi of the UBT is rubbing it in, saying that India's win will only add revenues to the PCB, that's the Pakistan Cricket Board, that in turn will use it to rebuild the LET headquarters in Muridke that the Indian Air Force had bombed. Listen in.
It is extremely shameful that the BCCI decided to go ahead with this match. It is nothing but dishonoring the martyrs of Pahalgam. I think the government very clearly chose profit over patriotism.
जो मूल इश्यू जो आज देश में चल रहे हैं, महंगाई है, बेरोजगारी है, किसानों के इश्यू है, ये सब इश्यू को डाइवर्ट करने के लिए इस तरह का ये खेला बीजेपी केंद्र सरकार में बैठकर कर रही है.
गेमिंग, सोचो ग्राउंड गेमिंग ये होने दे रहे हैं और कौन सी गेमिंग बंद कर रहे हैं. एक गेमिंग बंद कर रहे हैं और दूसरी ग्राउंड गेमिंग चलने दे रहे हैं. सोचिए आप.
पूरा देश जो है उनका जो है ऋणी रहेगा कि उन्होंने हाथ नहीं मिलाया है. इतना बड़ा बलिदान दिया है. वो तो छोटे छोटे बलिदान लोगों ने दिए हैं, अपनी जान के बलिदान दिए लोगों ने. औरत ने, किसी ने अपना सुहाग खोया है, बुजुर्ग बाप ने अपने बेटे की अस्थियां गंगा में बहाई हैं. तो बड़े छोटे बलिदान थे. इनके आगे जो सूर्य कुमार यादव जो हैं, उनका जो बलिदान है तो बहुत महान बलिदान है कि उन्होंने हाथ नहीं मिलाया.
Question is, has India normalized relations with Pakistan by agreeing to play them? Does winning the match or not shaking hands with Pakistan's captain somehow justify sporting relations with a terror state? Now, the government of India says there is an Olympic-sized compulsion that is behind not boycotting Pakistan.
इसका सोच है अपोजिशन पार्टी का हर समय राजनीति करने का, वो ठीक नहीं है. जो क्रिकेट खेला है ये पाकिस्तान इंडिया का बायलैटरल खेल नहीं है, एशिया कप है. पाकिस्तान का साथ तो भारत ने कोई मैच खेला ही नहीं है. कोई बायलैटरल पाकिस्तान में भी गया नहीं है, पाकिस्तान को अलग से बुलाया नहीं है.
मल्टीनेशनल टूर्नामेंट जहां पर एसीसी या आईसीसी करवाती है, वहां पे किसी भी देश के लिए मजबूरी या जरूरी हो जाता है भाग लेना. अगर वो नहीं लेंगे तो टूर्नामेंट से बाहर हो जाएंगे. कई वर्षों से हमने ये निर्णय किया है कि भारत पाकिस्तान के साथ बायलैटरल नहीं खेलेगा जब तक पाकिस्तान भारत पर आतंकवादी हमले या कार्रवाई बंद नहीं करता है.
In fact, we are also now hearing from former BCCI President Saurav Ganguly on the match yesterday and the no handshake optics. This is what he's saying.
So do you think that we could have done not playing that match that took place yesterday?
Terror must stop. That is most important. But sports also cannot stop. But terror has to stop. All around the world, not just India, Pakistan. You've seen so many things happening. So that also has to stop.
So do you think that we could have done not playing that match that took place yesterday?
Terror must stop. That is most important. But sports also cannot stop. But terror has to stop. All around the world, not just India, Pakistan. You've seen so many things happening. So that also has to stop.
That was a straight question that was asked. Was the answer straight? Definitely not. It is neither here nor there. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, the deed has been done and will be done again because we will be playing Pakistan at least once, if not twice, again in the Asia Cup. Come to think of it, India's captain did what he could. He sent out a clear message that there are some things that are much bigger than sportsmanship and personal relations. Should we then be dismissing Sky's gesture as hollow optics like the opposition is? Should his terror tribute be seen as a feeble fig leaf or a clear message to Pakistan? My guest this evening, Raman Malik. Before I introduce my guest this evening, just to tell you that the BJP has refused to send a spokesperson for the show, so has the Congress Party. Actually, the Congress Party has sent Sujata ji. I didn't see you there. Hi, good evening. Raman Malik, political analyst, thank you very much for joining us. Always good to have you on the show. Nikhil Sharma is a sports commentator, author, joining us on the broadcast. Thanks, Nikhil, for being with us. Sujata ji, good evening once again. Thank you very much. And Siddharth Sharma is national spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. Thank you very much for joining us as well. Can I ask you, Sujata ji, why the opposition is saying what Suryakumar Yadav did before the toss was simply optics, a fig leaf, the fact that this match should not have been played? Now that you know what public sentiment is, you are saying humne handshake nahi kiya, isliye Pahalgam can now be forgiven and the Asia Cup can go on. Why are you saying that?
Good evening, Shreya ji, to my co-panelists and to your audiences. Not at all. We are not saying this. What we are saying is the government is trying to hide behind this fig leaf. But what our players have done, what Suryakumar Yadav has done, has shown that, he was also probably not happy doing what he had to do. But like Sunil Gavaskar yesterday made a statement that the government decided that we were going to play Pakistan in the Asia Cup, and that is why there was little left for the team to do but concentrate on their game. So this should have stopped because, the victims of the Pahalgam attack have been saying, and their statements are all over the internet, and it breaks my heart every time I see my daughters, my sisters saying that, this match should not have been played. Why was this played? It was only played for the money bit. But I don't really blame Mr. Modi because he has said in the past that Vyapar runs in his blood. So clearly it is for Jai Shah, for the money, for Mr. Amit Shah's son that this match was played. And of course, it is not as if we haven't played Pakistan, refused to play Pakistan earlier. Earlier also from 1962 to 1977, we refused to play them. So why not now, when the country didn't want us to be playing?
Well, the deed has been done and the deed will be done again because at least once in the Asia Cup, we are going to be facing Pakistan, if not twice. Siddharth Sharma, can you please help me understand why the opposition is so upset with the handshake homilies that are being given out by the right wing this evening? Ki dekho, we have made our stand clear that our captain went, he refused any eye contact with the Pakistanis, he refused a handshake, he sent a message. Why is that not enough? Why is that a fig leaf? Why is that optics/drama for you?
Well, Shreya ma'am, as the self-gloating modern-day Chanakya once famously said, आप chronology समझिए, इंडिया-पाकिस्तान मैच होगा, जो जीते जो हारे, 2000 करोड़ पैसा बन जाएगा. उसमें से सैकड़ों करोड़ पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट बोर्ड को जाएगा. पाकिस्तान उस पैसे को आतंकवाद में लगाएगा. फिर बीजेपी आतंकवाद के नाम पर आपके वोट की चोरी करेगी. BJP ecosystem might have entered this kind of power hubris But wise viewers of Times Now can search all that I have said on their WhatsApp AI. Exactly the reason why there was no firecrackers yesterday across India heard, even after India won the match. Pahalgam hurt India more than it hurt BJP and BCCI. And to make it very succinct, just like there are malefic planets, BJP is a malefic party. When masses are swindled of their money, it is called as a Ponzi scheme. The P in BJP stands for Ponzi. BJP is a Ponzi scheme party. BCCI doesn't pay a single penny tax. Neither did any of its members get martyred in Pahalgam, nor did it go on the front lines during Operation Sindoor. Yet Operation Sindoor was declared ended by Jai Shah last night from sitting in Dubai. An operation which the Pradhanji said was ongoing was unilaterally closed by Mr. Jai Shah. Makes one wonder if there's been a palace coup inside Lok Kalyan Marg, where Pradhanji has been retired even before his 75 years of birthday. And India's reins of defense as well as foreign policy is now being pulled from Dubai by the Home Minister's illustrious son.
अच्छा ठीक है, नहीं सिद्धार्थ शर्मा मेरे ठीक है, आपने जो बोला अब आप मुझे सवाल का जवाब दीजिए कि सूर्य कुमार यादव did what he could, right? He sent a message, he spoke about Pahalgam, he spoke about the victims, he said this win is a tribute to the armed forces that launched Operation Sindoor. जो उसने किया, उसको ऑप्टिक्स क्यों बोल रहे हैं? उसको फिग लीफ क्यों बोल रहे हैं? उसका तो डिसीजन नहीं था ना, whether to play or not to play.
Shreya ji, your job is as a TV anchor. You are not a neither a cricketer nor a cricket commentator. Mr. Suryakumar Yadav played brilliantly yesterday, scored his 47 runs.
What are you talking about?
That was his job. He has to be judged on his play, not on what he said. What I am saying is that someone who stopped Russia-Ukraine war couldn't stop Jai Shah playing cricket in Dubai. What a great notional fall for BJP. The Prime Minister could stop the Russia-Ukraine war, but he could not stop yesterday's match. Ramanji, you were jodoing your hearts. Please tell me why were you folding your hands in front of what Siddharth Sharma was saying? If Suryakumar Yadav can refuse niceties with Pakistan and say, I'm not shaking hands with these guys, their hands are bloodied with Indian blood, why could the government of India and the BCCI not do their job and ensure that this match is cancelled? Let the Asia Cup go on, we will not play them. Right? That was what was being asked.
One must understand what is the legalities and the foundations on this whole thing. It's a big thing because the people who are talking here have limited or negative intellectual capacities. So I would like to bring something in front, and there must be, it must be deliberated. National honor is not protected by refusing to play. In a war, you defeat your borders, you defend your borders and you defeat your enemies. So, you defended your pride and you defeated your enemy on the pitch. A boycott is not nationalism. A boycott in a bilateral series is nationalism. But in an international program, in an international event where multinational event is held, it is not nationalism. It is giving in platter to your opposition who does deserve only boots. And yesterday, the Indian cricketing team gave boots wherever it was required in every field to the opposition. That is number one. The Indie bloc, which is demanding proof of the Air Force Acts, the Army Acts, suddenly has got an injection of nationalism. Suddenly they started Operation Sindoor kyun hua? Kaise ho gaya? Kya ho gaya? You remember all those lines. But today they are crying for Operation Sindoor. Very good. Der aaye, durust aaye, bahut achhi baat hai. Lekin, the point is this, that their problem is not Operation Sindoor or cricket. Their problem is हम मुद्दा कौन सा उठाएं. कभी भी हम उठा सकते हैं, कुछ भी उठा सकते हैं. They can flip and flop. Now, let's talk about the basic facts. When was BCCI accepted as the body which takes care of India cricket? In 80s, early 80s, 81 if I'm not wrong. It's a private organization which was justified by the Honorable Supreme Court, none other than the Supreme Court. The Lodha Commission said that there has to be a cricketing president. Very good. The
Mr. Malik, before you give us the entire history of the BCCI, do you, for a moment, want to challenge the intelligence of the Times Now viewer by saying that the BCCI actually has the independence to go ahead and declare a match with Pakistan without checking with the government of India? The fact is it was a political decision that was made. The fact is the decision is being defended. Ek minute. Mr. Raman Malik, the fact also is that the decision and playing the match has been defended by the government of India, its ministers, even a former sports minister, Mr. Anurag Thakur, who has said playing Pakistan was a compulsion, is a compulsion because we cannot afford to let our Olympic dreams be quashed. है ना? तो ये तो मत बोलिए कि BCCI is an independent body, वो जो भी करती है, government of India has nothing to do with it.
You halted me in between. Let me just finish and I'll quickly just finish it. So the basic thing is you must visit to the Iran-Israel Olympic issues which have happened and the damage that it has caused to Iran as a nation for its sports. That is one part of it. But the most important part which we must talk about and which is there is primarily that since BCCI, after the Lodha Commission, had two heads, because BCCI is highly political an organization. Today you have Roger Binney as the president, who is the cricketing president. But then at the back end it is Rajiv Shukla, a person from the media fraternity and a Darbari of Antonio Maino, who manages BCCI politically.
No, correct. Now that is the point you should have raised to begin with. That the decision was of the BCCI, but look who constitutes the BCCI. आप जैसा तो बोलते रहते हैं, लेकिन there is one Rajiv Shukla also from the Congress party. Absolutely, but Siddharth Sharma, can I ask you how you, not Siddharth, एक minute रुक जाइए. I do think I should go to Nikhil Sharma, who is also with us and has been with us very patiently for the last 15 minutes hearing all of us. Can I ask you, as a sports commentator, Nikhil, how you view what India's captain has done?
Shreya, for the last month and a half, we've been talking about why this match should not take place. I respect everybody's view in terms of why it shouldn't happen. I think I began a lot of conversations on Times Now stating that in isolation, India should never be playing Pakistan. As far as sports is concerned, if it's a bigger tournament, international tournament where there are more nations, and if there is a compulsion that India must play Pakistan, we must go ahead and do it as part of our job. Point number one. Point number two is that I don't know why cricket has this, obsession. Nobody will ever come and talk saying that the Olympics are here. Neeraj Chopra is competing against Arshad Nadeem. Should we ask him to stand out from his opportunity to grab a gold? No, you will not ask him out because it's not important. It's not a nation's topic to discuss Neeraj Chopra. Should we ask our hockey team not to play in the Asian Games against the Pakistanis? They will be banned if they do so. But no, nobody's going to talk about it. But cricket brings about a lot of conversation. And every time somebody talks about optics, my friends, that's exactly what you're talking about here. You're talking about optics. You're trying to put forth a point which somebody cares for. What Suryakumar Yadav has done yesterday is done his job and ensured that whatever the nation felt, he's put it out in front of the entire world. And that's how sports can be used as a very, very strong tool. Rather than berating him and saying it's only optics, we must respect the fact that he did a job that the government and the BCCI asked him to. He did it in a very nice fashion. The country, the cricketers basically made, proved another point yesterday that we are so leagues ahead of Pakistan. What are we even crying about it? And the moment he did it, he's expressed it in a very nice fashion that we stand in solidarity with Pulwama, and we also, we dedicate this win to the soldiers. How better could sports be? And what are we crying about if not for this? I'm aghast that we're even discussing this, Shreya. But I think job well done from the cricketing team, and Suryakumar Yadav, you have a fan in me.
Okay.
Shreya.
Okay. Nikhil Sharma, the point is that if we heard what Suryakumar Yadav said, he said, look, the decision was ours, which means the teams, but the BCCI and the government were completely aligned. Then in your sense, because what I'm hearing you say is this, that essentially Sky did what the BCCI and the government of India should have done. Sky heard the people, reflected how they felt. The government of India and the BCCI didn't.
I disagree, Shreya. I think as my starting statement was that if we chose not to play them in international tournaments, in cricket specifically, and you cannot take isolated examples, that we will not play new cricket, but when it comes to the Olympics, we can compete against your athletes. It cannot be done in isolation. It's not how sports is played. You've got to take cognizance of everything. Could the government and BCCI have done something about it? I do believe they could have. More the government than the BCCI, because nothing can happen in India if the government doesn't wish to. If the government had stated we are sitting out of the Asia Cup, we'll see when the World Cup comes, when the Asian Games come, when the Olympics come, well, there will be repercussions, but if you're prepared for it, you could have taken them on. But having said that, once you've played it, what's a player going to do? Like a soldier, he will do his duty. Exactly what Suryakumar Yadav has done. Kudos.
And therefore, Raman Malik, I ask you before I go to Sujata and Siddharthji, what is this compulsion that a former sports minister of this country is talking about? The compulsion to play Pakistan. Mighty India feeling compelled to play Pakistan because we could be disqualified for bids for the Olympic Games.
Yes, we could be, because all these things have a chain reaction.
And that's okay.
One thing which you must realize.
That's okay, absolutely okay. In the name of national honor, that would have been absolutely okay.
One major thing which you must understand is, when you are doing this, an incompetent person, if you give him a platter to sit down and enjoy and lead as the Asian champion or any other tournament's champion, and whereas that person needs to be defeated and given a boot, it is the same thing. Let's say tomorrow, on a particular reason, the Congress and the Indie bloc starts to say, we will not participate because we do not like the government, we will not participate in the election. So they're giving a walkover to the government, incumbent government. So are they okay to do that? They will not do that. They will fight their election.
जवाब दीजिए. Point is, पाकिस्तान को हराना था, मुंह तोड़ जवाब उनको ऑपरेशन सिंदूर और ऑपरेशन महादेव ने दिया और कल हमारे क्रिकेटर्स ने भी दे दिया. So we have done national duty. The BCCI has actually done a national duty. Our cricketers have done a national duty. Why are you co-sowing them?
Yeah, if the BJP is saying that 2 cricket points are heavier than coffins of 26 martyrs, it only displays BJP's intellectual bankruptcy. The second point about multilateral and bilateral, this Pakistani javelin thrower Arshad Nadeem was not allowed to play Neeraj Chopra World Classic, which happened a few weeks ago. Doesn't the same apply to Pradhanji by not allowing India to play Pakistan cricket with Pakistan? India had not long ago sent 59 parliamentarians to 32 countries to declare Pakistan a terror state. Yesterday, BJP itself poured concrete over on it forever.
No,
isn't it so?
No, the BJP did not. I think the BJP did both its job very well. They took care of the diplomacy, they took care of the national duty, and sports was given a big strategy to hit back to Pakistan, and making Operation Sindoor an international event through the sport was a good move.
If
multilateral, it would have been stopped.
Are you telling me we needed, Mr. Raman Malik, 1 minute, are you telling me we needed a cricket match with Pakistan to send a message on Operation Sindoor? Come on, sir. वो ऑपरेशन सिंदूर का मैसेज हमने बहुत सारे टैक्स पेयर मनी खर्च करके अपने पार्लियामेंटेरियंस को पूरी दुनिया में भेज के फैला दिया था. And after that you decide to play this match.
हमने मिलिट्री के थ्रू भी मारा, हमने डिप्लोमेसी के थ्रू भी मारा. जब मौका मिला तो स्पोर्ट्स के थ्रू भी मारा.
सुजाता जी,
मौका मिलेगा वहाँ हम मारेंगे.
सुजाता जी, respond to that. जहाँ मौका मिलेगा मारेंगे.
वो होता रहे.
You know, this is sports. What are we talking about? Look at the way we are talking about and turning sports into this drama. Sports is not politics. And the fact is that when the country
exactly what the BJP is saying. No. Keep politics and geopolitics away from sport. You are then making the same argument as them.
No, not at all. What I'm saying is that in sports there will always be sportsmanship, and what Suryakumar Yadav has done, he deserves a salute because he did it because he knew what the country was feeling. This means that he knew what he was feeling, what the country was feeling, what the victims were feeling. If our people have died, then we need to take a stand when the country is saying that you shouldn't be.
Why did Rajiv Shukla
just keep quiet. You're not a
why did Rajiv Shukla not take that stand? Why did he stand up and say, I do not agree with this?
Let me answer. I'm not going to answer him. I'm answering you. Now the fact is that hiding behind the fact that it was it was a multilateral tournament and not bilateral clearly shows that Anurag Thakur knows the compulsion is Jai Shah. Period. You heard what Rakesh Sinha said, that we said खून और पानी साथ नहीं बह सकते, हमने खून और cricket नहीं कहा. Look at the analogies that they have drawn and they have hurt the victims even more. The fact is that every single penny which will go will fund the terrorist bullet, which will be fired at our soldiers at the border, which will be fired on all innocent citizens by the way. Shut up.
Don't shut up on this show, bhai. Sujata ji, please. You are a former academic. From you, I do not expect this behavior, Sujata ji.
I don't speak in between at all. Now, he's going on speaking. See, so the fact is that when we are talking about the country sentiments, we must understand. And I do understand what Mr. Nikhil Sharma was saying, that for every sport, the thing should be same. But here, you must understand that after Pahalgam, this is what has come first. But before this, the Legends Cup was also there, where we refused to play. Hats off to our players. Don't you agree? And it's not as if we haven't stepped out of the Asia Cup.
20 seconds. Nikhil, 20 seconds. Respond just ma'am.
Look, ma'am, I think it's very different from when it's an invitational tournament to when it's binding for you to play. I think we need to understand sports in a much more deeper fashion. A Legends tournament is organized by a private organizer. It's not held by the ICC or the ACC. You have an opportunity there to stand out. A Neeraj Chopra Classic is a private tournament that Neeraj Chopra is inviting on behest of the JSW. You can ask whoever wants to play, who doesn't want. If you don't agree with me, that's all right. That's perfectly fine. I'm not very happy with the match happening, but once it's happened, please don't berate the players. I think it's very important that we take this in the right spirit. I think partly I do agree. If you want to send a message, what better platform than the cricket ground where everybody in the world is watching? We've shown how miles ahead we are as a country. Why are we fighting about a country that doesn't have a standing at this point in time? And if you have to play them, beat them, move on, and express solidarity with the people who matter a lot.
Okay, Shreya. Is it time for us to move on then from the subject? I'll let our viewers decide because we've spoken about it for at least 2 weeks now. Thank you very much, everyone. You've heard everyone's argument. You can make up your own mind. Raman Malik, thank you. Nikhil, thank you very much. Sujata Paul, still not answered that question on Rajiv Shukla. It's a bit of a sore point there with the Congress party. Thank you, though. And Siddharth Sharma, thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, a break. There is more on the other side.